What is good, peeps? I wanted to go in on a topic, which was Threads versus Twitter, new app launch, and just taking over. It's not being a fan of Zuckerberg or anything like that. It is just being so frustrated that one man has ruined a platform that, was getting markedly better um, leading up to the takeover. Um, I, for one, um, it changed how I use Twitter. Twitter Spaces just changed everything for me. I went from barely using Twitter, 46 followers, to Twitter becoming my most used app, and then, exponentially growing on there through Twitter Spaces and able to connect with poetry and spoken word and just being in some incredible spaces and just meeting some incredible people. And Twitter Spaces really just, I think, and I still stand by it, are the greatest update to any social media platform ever. And what's up, Seven? How you doing? Happy Sunday. How do I like Threads? I do like it. I just like the innocent vibe, and I wrote that this isn't gonna last forever. It's not. And so just embracing this moment right now, how it's innocent, there's no plan. It's just simply just posting good vibes. You're not worried about, posts doing well or whatever. And there's no like roadmap of like, you should be doing it this way. And you should be posting about this and you should be posting at this time, et cetera, et cetera. And I talked about it on the latest episode of the Indefatigable Artist Podcast that I have always been late to social media. I've never embraced new apps. I've always kind of been like a hipster to it. This is the first time that I embraced a new social media app immediately. Day one, signing up. And even hearing about the launch, I was like, I am done tweeting. I'm not like deleting it. I'll come back and like I've checked it, but it is not the same. And like he crossed the line with limiting, views. And not only are you single-handedly ruining this app, you're then trolling and saying to go touch grass and, use the app less. Okay, you can share that message and it's not, to negate that message at all. But you're doing it as a troll to something you implemented. And you're just actively making it fucking worse and worse. And you fire 75, 80% of the workers there. And then, Threads wouldn't have happened if Elon didn't take over. Threads would not have happened if Elon didn't take over because he literally fired the team and then Zuckerberg hired him. And I had tweeted out in November last year that I would have liked to have seen like a Reddit, hire all the people that Elon was firing. But it looks like it was Zuck that hired him. And, good for him. And I hope, Zuck can change his ways. I'm not saying, what he did in 2016 and leading up to it and all the lobbying he's done for privacy policy laws, I haven't agreed with. But you have to take what is being given, I guess, at this point as an artist, if you're trying to grow and get your message out there, get people to connect with your artwork. It's like I see people hating on it, and I've done some posts, on like TikTok or on YouTube and people openly hating it. Okay, I know I'm not here to defend Zuckerberg whatsoever. This and again, this would not have happened. No one would have given a shit if Twitter wasn't so bad. And it's only so bad because of one human being. And it's one person who is actively ruining this. And he was forced by a court to buy it. He did not want to buy this. He said it, and he put it out there that he was going to buy it for X amount. And the CEO of Twitter at the time held him accountable to it and forced him, because he knew he was overpaying. He knew he had him. He was way overpaying for something. But, you got to put your money where your mouth is. And he was held accountable and forced by a Delaware court to go through with that purchase. He did not want to buy it. And you listen into these Twitter spaces, and these damn idiots never fucking say he was forced to buy it. They just act like he wanted to actually buy this and actually do all of this. No, he didn't. Do you now see that? When the news came out in October of last year that he was going to purchase this, I was screaming, no, 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 no. And to see decentralized people, advocate for this and cheer this on, of a centralized platform becoming more centralized, becoming hyper-centralized, centralized to the point that we've never seen before. We've never seen a company who is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange then get taken off the stock exchange and be privately owned by one human being who can then have control over all the levers and do any changes he sees fit. We've never seen that. And it's like, decentralized people of all are supporting this. You're supposed to be for decentralizing power, not consolidating power. So it made me look at the Web3 space completely differently, and see how hypocritical that they actually are, and they don't actually understand what decentralization means. And this just proved that when they were cheerleading a centralized platform becoming hyper centralized, I looked at all of them completely differently. And then I started to dig deep into other stances that they were taking. And you start to see, different patterns. And it's very easy to see patterns because when you write down the different word choice that a lot of them are using in these Twitter spaces, it's not a varied list. I would say, I haven't counted the words, but it's under 100 of what these people are using over and over and over again. It's a limited word choice. And so the sentiment among all of them was like, oh, this is great. Elon, he's going to change everything. No, you idiots. He fucking ruined it. And if you couldn't see that coming, I started to go back in all my tweets, leading up to this, and I'm putting a blog post together that will have everything. But it was just like almost inevitable of this happening. I didn't think it would be Zuckerberg, but he has the funding, so it does actually make sense for that to happen. I would have liked to seen like a Reddit or just something else hire those people and create something. And to that point, of like the hate comments that I received on these videos, it's like, drop a link to the app that you developed. What are other people developing? Let's use it. And okay, say you even developed that. Okay, how are you gonna get this many people to care? And he's able to do that at a record pace, and it's still not even available in all countries yet. It still feels like it's in beta version, and I think he understands attention economy, and he has not rolled out everything that they probably have for this app yet, including Thread Spaces. I think once Thread Spaces comes out, you're going to see usage on Twitter just nosedive down. Because right now I go back on Twitter and I still see people saying they're in Twitter Spaces while scrolling threads, right? And I think that's hilarious. And it just shows like the only use Twitter has right now is these Twitter Spaces. And so once Thread Spaces comes out, I mean, it's almost obsolete. And Snapchat still around, Tumblr's still around, but they are not the same. Twitter will never be the same as it was with this. There's just no way. And yeah, it's a matter of and right now. Um and people are still, going to use it. There's still going to be that section of people that refuse to go on threads, okay? But if you are looking at this from a business perspective or the perspective of trying to reach more people with your art, and you have a passion and you want others to resonate with that, to not go on threads, I think is to your own detriment, because it's only going to get better. It's only going to get more users. I love how good and the quality of photos and videos on there, I just think are just far superior already. I think it even looks better. The timeline looks better than Instagram. I think the images pop more. I think the videos pop more. The fact that you can get a mix of text and image that you can't get on Instagram, I think it even pulls away from, Instagram in its own, but it's still under the same umbrella, so it doesn't matter as much. But I see it, pulling attention away from there as well. This is a new step we're taking here, a new thing we're seeing. And I just want to pull up here some notes that I had from the podcast. But yeah, the last straw, limiting views and causing it to crash yet again. And I was, again, like I said, I'm a late adapter to Twitter. I wasn't on it right away. Same thing with Instagram, very late to it. Facebook I joined but barely used. I did have a MySpace, but I lost the email, and someone else had created it for me actually. And yeah, I used it, but not that much. But this is the earliest I have ever been to any new social media platform. I was actually within the first 500,000. I was like 400,000 some, which is kind of crazy when you think that this is going to get into the billions. It's already at 100 million people. The jump, and that's only 10% of a billion. So it's gonna 10x, 20x number of users, and so I hope that my trajectory and the trajectory of people who have already created profiles can grow with that. But I'm loving it. It feels stress-free. It feels carefree. It's just it's refreshing. It's been refreshing. It's been really great. And I've been trying to curate my timeline to spark joy. And that's what social media really should do. It shouldn't be a stressful thing that you're doing. We have so many other stresses. Going on a social media app should not be a stressor. It should not be a stressor. It should spark joy in whatever you're doing. And for me, Threads has done that. It has brought a joy back of being on social media and interacting with others. I have been extremely frustrated this year with Twitter and all these changes that he's making, and really forcing people to pay a stupid $8. But even then, you're limiting people who are paying. I don't care if it's 6,000 views or whatever it is. That's still a limit that was not there before. And it's also from him not paying Google. That's where this is coming from, is that he's not paying Google. And so now when you go to search on Google, Twitter links aren't popping up, which is huge for advertisers. Now, Elon taking over and bringing back these pieces of shit that were fucking banned, 95% of them for the right reason. He's bringing them back. You're signaling what you're actually trying to do here and who you're trying to give voice to. And then you're co-hosting spaces with these crazy presidential candidates, and then you're trying to say you're apolitical. You can't be. You cannot be apolitical and you're co-hosting spaces for certain people. Like, that just doesn't work. I don't care if you're trying to promote your platform. You know, that is just yikes, man. Just yikes. Like, and it sounded like shit. If you listen to them, it sounds like a 1930s radio. It was awful. Just a bad look. Just all around, he has just been taking L's. Just starting from the fact that he paid $44 billion, and yeah, it does feel more organic. It does feel more organic, and it feels like the algorithm's so new that it's like you follow someone, and then all of a sudden on your feed, it's just all of the posts from that person. It just shows like how new the algorithm is. It's still figuring things out, but it's definitely a mixture of people that I'm following mixed with people I'm not following, but relatable content. So really great. I'm also seeing my stuff get shown to people that aren't following me. Feels good. It feels good to finally have this. I think it was much needed. And it's cool to also see people who were on Instagram who didn't ever go on Twitter. So you're seeing like a different side of those people that maybe you've been following on Instagram for a while, and you're now able to connect on a different level here.